I'm Dina Amadrill, the ice cream maker and owner of Long Beach Creamery. The idea that came first was just flavor and ice cream. And as I started getting crazy, I think at one point I had like 15 or so different pints of flavors in my freezer. And I thought, oh, I gotta invite some other people over to try them. And I put a little call out to my Facebook friends and I said, hey, does anybody want to come over and try this ice cream I've been making? You know, the first 10 people I think you can fit in my kitchen. That's just 10 of you. And within like half an hour, all 10 hands were raised. And then two days later, I had a kitchen full of people. When we were tasting ice cream, we would do I'd take a pint, put it upside down on a piece of paper, squeeze it out, and then we just cut it with a knife into 10 or so different flavors, and they'd taste a flavor and give it a rating, or tell me what they liked or didn't like about it, just so I could see did I have something here that other people liked, or was I going nuts, thinking that this stuff tasted good. Everything snowballed like that, where people were pushing me along. When are you having another tasting? When are you going to make another ice cream? Can you make one like this? Can you do this other thing? The next year, 2014, I had a thing in my backyard, a tasting in my backyard, and people were parked everywhere in this neighborhood. And we started the tasting at 10. By like 10:45, we were out of ice cream, and people were still coming. The people who loved the ice cream and the flavor of the ice cream pushed to have the Creamery happen. Once I figured out that I needed to have a shop in order to continue to do what I was doing, the ice cream thing, and I decided I was going to do it, I put my condo up for sale downtown, and that helped me seed a lot of money. I needed 150 grand. I didn't have 150 grand, so turning to Kickstarter was a kind of a logical way of going about it, because I knew I had people that were interested in the process. They already felt like they were a part of the process, and maybe they'd be willing to help out in getting it on to the next step. And it turned out that was true. I put a Kickstarter up in November 2000, and the whole Kickstarter process was a real grind. You have 30 days to get the money. The very beginning, people are real excited, and you get a certain percentage. And then after a couple of days in, maybe like 7 days in, if you don't reach a certain percentage, your Kickstarter probably is not going to make it unless you grind it out those last days. But you got to be talking about it and moving it and selling stuff every day for those 30 days. You can't let it sit. So about 5 days before the close, we were kind of still far away. But somewhere in the middle of the day, we got a $300 donation from a veterinarian in Newport Beach who had never tasted the ice cream. And I was over the moon. I called my dad and said, hey, geez, you can't believe it. We got $300 from somebody who's never even tasted anything, And about the same time, I was taking a video of my little dog that I rescued. Her name's Tiny. She does this crazy thing where she stands up on her back legs and like dances for you. And so I took a little video of her, and I had put little kids' voices talking and a little cheering, and then I wrote on there, Tiny wants a dairy room, and she was dancing. Right? So and I don't know how this was happening, but he gave the 300, and then I was posting this video kind of at the same time, and so Tiny goes up online, and within maybe another half an hour, he ups his $300 thing. This is gonna make me cry. I'm sorry, a person I don't even know. He ups his reward from 300 to 1,000. I'm sorry, man.
It's okay.
And so we always say it's from, Tiny doing her dance, but it was one of the things that just shocks the shit out of you. That somebody you don't know is willing to support you in that kind of way, and that changed my energy. It changed my energy during the process, and at that point I knew we were going to make it. If somebody from never tasted anything, he just feels the passion of the project and the people behind it, and he's willing to give $1,000 to make it happen. It was overwhelming. During the whole Kickstarter process, you can kind of feel when a project is a dud, or it's dudding out. You know, people are not interested anymore. Or even the person who created the Kickstarter is not interested anymore because they're not posting updates, or they're not telling you about the latest stuff that's happening with their project. And I had gotten to that point where I was like, man, I don't even want to post another thing because it's not going to work anyway. And then 300, and bam, he ups it to 1,000, and that was it. If I'm lucky enough, how I'd like to see Long Beach Creamery grow is to be able to help support other local businesses by helping them make a name for themselves, or gain awareness like we have for Black Rain Coffee. And now we work with a gal from the Pie Bar, and we take her pies and we cut them up and put them in the ice cream. And every once in a while, when I'm in the shop now and I see all the employees working, I think, holy crap. You know, they're all working to make this thing successful, and they love it. They'll say things like they can tell people they're happy. They can tell people what's in this food. You know, they like telling people what's in it because it's all natural, and they're proud of it. And that's another thing that blows me away every once in a while.